The opening lines, maybe Franklin's, aptly describe Marvel's current state. In my mind, it faded in 2019 with Avengers, Endgame's curtain call. Dying or retiring at the peak suits heroes like Iron Man and Captain America, but not Disney. Driven by capital, they still churn out Marvel garbage. Now, let's get back to the point and discuss today's topic, the newly released, The Marvels. Before we start, please like, share, and follow our channel if you enjoy this content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell for updates. Thank you. Before heading to the cinema, I had heard a joke among Marvel fans. In Black Panther 2, Ant-Man 3, Thor 4, Eternals, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion, who is the king of MCU's flops? I was undecided between Eternals and She-Hulk, until I watched The Marvels. So, I was mentally prepared for its badness. However, its mediocrity slightly exceeded expectations. During the movie, two couples behind me left early, a first in my Marvel experiences. No wonder it set a record for the lowest Marvel box office, $46.11 million in its opening week. If I were to rate it, I'd give it a 9 out of 100, with the only positive being its brevity at 105 minutes. You'd better not to waste those 105 minutes, my advice. Next, I'll analyze its shortcomings. In the first installment, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers single-handedly resisted and destroyed the Kree's supreme intelligence, leading to a Kree civil war. The Kree's home planet, Hala, lost sunlight, water, and air, becoming barren and desolate. Dar-Ben, who witnessed all this, became the new leader of the Kree. She is determined to restore everything in Hala and seeks revenge against Carol. Through a quantum band obtained by chance, Dar-Ben gained the ability to create jump points in space and extract resources from other planets for Hala. Meanwhile, the newly introduced Monica Rambeau is investigating anomalies in jump points. She is an astronaut for Saber, a new organization led by Nick Fury. Carol also discovers that when using her superpowers, she can switch places with Monica and a high school student named Kamala Khan, who wears a quantum bracelet similar to Dar-Ben's. To stop the Kree's plunder, the three temporarily form the Marvels to combat Dar-Ben. It's worth noting that this installment introduces two new major characters, Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan. Additionally, in the post-credit scenes, several other new characters appear, which, for many audiences unfamiliar with them, somewhat raises the threshold for comprehension, contributing to the film's poor reception. Monica Rambeau is the daughter of Maria Rambeau, a close friend of Carol Danvers seen in the first installment, gains superpowers after exposure to Wanda's Hex in WandaVision. She can now see and utilize any light wave. On the other hand, Kamala Khan, a Pakistani-American high school student and devoted Captain Marvel fan, possesses powers to transform energy into a tangible form through a quantum bracelet inherited from her grandmother. Her independent series, Ms. Marvel, explores her journey. After Avengers, Endgame, and Tony Stark's sacrifice, fans wondered why Captain Marvel didn't intervene earlier against Thanos. The Marvels addresses this, revealing Carol Danvers' activities during her absence. A comment stands out: the script doesn't look like it was written by a carbon-based creature. Indeed, this nails the issue. In reality, Marvel's current capabilities ensure similar production quality in its TV series and movies. Differences only rise in script and casting. Most mediocre films suffer in the two aspects. Unfortunately, this film faces serious issues in both. It's crucial to clarify that when discussing casting, we don't target the actors. To some extent, superhero characters are part of the script. A poorly developed character, even if perfectly portrayed, can't salvage everything. Not surprisingly, defenders once again steer discussions towards gender conflict, claiming negative reviews or biased opinions suppressing feminism and minority representation by male supremacists. Similar sentiments plague movies labeled with feminism or racial diversity, like Barbie, Ballerina, and Eternals. However, these high ratings lack compelling reasons, abstractly stating, the movie is interesting, or emphasizing girl power and racial diversity. These sentiments, unfortunately, contribute to Marvel's mediocre films. To be precise, I believe the higher-ups at Marvel have also noticed a severe decline in both the reputation and box office performance over the past years, and they're attempting to make some improvements. Take the Marvels, for example, and we can clearly see their efforts. They may think like this. Aren't fans most fond of Avengers? So, let's create a revamped version. Since assembling the original Avengers is no longer feasible, we can surely come up with something like the Marvels, right? For instance, the Avengers series had a penchant for 3 men taking on 1 antagonist. Now, we switch it up to 3 women, complete with a captain, a shield wielder, and one who soars around shooting beams of light. Remember Loki from Avengers 1? Clad in armor, brandishing a glowing, elongated weapon, and relishing in making everyone kneel? Well, we have Dar-Benn who faithfully cosplay in the same manner. Not only does she resemble Loki in appearance, but also shares his penchant for commanding people to kneel. They've even gone the extra mile by bringing in Tom Hiddleston's wife to play the role. In Avengers 4, wasn't the goal to collectively snatch Thanos' gauntlet? Well, in the Marvels, it's the same story. Competing for a high-energy object that the antagonist possesses, ultimately leading to her explosion. How about that? The formula is familiar and seemingly sincere, right? Won't the loyal fans rush to buy tickets? The problem, however, lies in the fact that these 3 female leads are not the original trio, and Dar-Benn is certainly no Loki or Thanos. Recall Marvel's pre-2019 popularity. Did we like the original Avengers only because they were white males? If so, why are Black Widow and Nick Fury classics? Conversely, why criticize Thor 4 and Ant-Man 3 with white male protagonists? Similarly, the most beloved characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy series, Rocket and Groot, aren't even human, let alone white males. Did we criticize or reject diversity for these minorities? No, we did not. For the general audience, a compelling story always takes precedence. Engaging characters, thrilling plots, witty dialogue and humorous scenes drive these narratives. Except for a few extremists prioritizing political correctness, most people don't care about a character's gender, race, or sexual orientation. In essence, nearly all Marvel movies adhere to a similar story structure. Superheroes confronting a formidable villain with world-ending plans, ultimately uniting to defeat them. The key lies in shaping the hero and antagonist effectively. Some popular heroes stand out because writers do things right, providing a complete background, defining their origin, character traits, whether resilient, brave, humorous, or timid, revealing their weaknesses, identifying catchphrases and iconic weapons, exploring dreams, and delving into relationships with loved ones and friends. Consider beloved Marvel characters, main or supporting, and check if they meet these criteria. Think of Steve Rogers, you know his 70-year ice slumber. He is steadfast, brave, and intelligent. His catchphrase, "I can do this all day," and love for Peggy Carter. Similarly, we know Thor's love-hate dynamic with his mischievous brother Loki. The banter and plotting between the two always entertain us. As for Tony Stark, we know his classic line, "I'm Iron Man," his friendship with War Machine. He is a genius scientist, and a somewhat arrogant, sarcastic playboy with a fortune, along with his love for pepper pots. In essence, well-rounded characters rise from the story, not merely from assigned identities. When every appearance of Don Cheadle brings witty remarks, making the audience burst into laughter, do extreme left-wing fans believe that white male viewers would not love him because of his ethnic? How is that possible? Now, examine the Marvel's female protagonist. Where's the charm? Who of the 3 has Doctor Strange's magical cloak, War Machine's eloquence and witty lines, or Drax's humor personality? Who, like Rocket, battles insecurities, erupts when called a rodent, yet remains the most loyal friend? Who, like Star-Lord, awkwardly dances and contributes to an iconic scene of being punched away upon entry? 2 of the 3 female protagonists lack clear romantic ties, and as the lead, Carol Danvers doesn't even have a weakness. How can you love a character without flaws? For the sake of the plot, the writers still gave Carol romantic and friendship storylines, but both are clearly task-oriented and executed poorly. Carol's nominal husband, played by Park Seo-joon, is a character you can forget before leaving the cinema. As for Maria Rambeau, who the writers forcibly set up as Carol's family, who remembers what they went through together, or even what she looks like? Like the female leads, the villain Dar-Benn also has a paper-thin personality, reduced to the mere label of villain without any defining characteristics. Notably, successful Marvel villains like Thanos have unique values, intricate theories, and complex emotional ties, a stark contrast to Darben's lack of depth. Throughout the movie, no character possesses individuality or independent thoughts. Even Nick Fury, once a standout, has become a tool. Everyone's existence is to underscore one message. This Marvel film adheres to political correctness, featuring an all-female cast, representing diversity with Black, Muslim, and Asian characters. If there is discrimination against the female leads, fault the Marvel writers for neglecting a compelling script. The issue lies in the poorly crafted script, partly influenced by extreme feminist fans. Their stance above facts mentality misguides Marvel executives into thinking that prioritizing political correctness will garner support, even with a subpar script. In recent years, reality has repeatedly challenged Marvel, yet its executives appear oblivious, determined to persist. Perhaps, with the collective failure of the next phase of teenage superhero movies and substantial losses, they may reconsider. However, by then, the once devoted fans will have aged, questioning who will continue to support Marvel financially. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share our video. And don't forget to ring the bell for updates, so that YouTube's algorithm can better recommend our channel. See ya!